Hey, what's up, fam? It's Chappell, host of the Recap Kickback podcast, here for another exit interview from the We Know Reality TV podcast coverage of Fox's new reality show, The Snake. With me, my lovely co-host Jenny Autumn, and our most recently eliminated contestant from The Snake, Devontae, the poker player. Devontae, what's good?
What's going on, man? How we doing?
I'm doing good. Sad to see you here though. And so we have a few questions about, how you ended up in this position. So from your point of view, how do you consider your elimination? Like what happened?
I've been grappling with it after the fact, and I got pretty unlucky. I made some enemies in the house. I knew that. Derek and I and the boys we were going to war with him, but I felt like I had numbers on my side, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of like 8v2. Like nobody else in the crib wants to see me go home, particularly other than Derek. And so I'm like, as long as he doesn't win the challenge, we're good. Uh, Derek goes and wins the challenge. Some people that I tried to, confide in and have my back didn't pick me. And once that happened, I knew my ass was grass, and that's exactly what happened. So, I kind of made my bed. Derek fought hard. I got to tip my cap to him, and he won the challenge and sent me packing. We were going to war. We were sending their guys home left and right, and they came for us, and I was a casualty of war. That's kind of how the game goes. So when you're someone like me who played the game really hard, either you go home at this very point or you go super deep. And I think if I survive this week, I make a deep as run as possible. But I needed someone to kind of save me with Derek having the power. It didn't happen, and it's okay. I played a hard game, and I was beating myself up about it at first, but all things considered, I think I played a good game.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae, you mentioned the luck piece of it. Obviously, Derek winning the challenge and becoming the snake here is worst case scenario for you. Um, I'm curious though, because you're obviously trying to create like a few different outs for you here in trying to set up a couple different people that would be in a position to save you in both Katherine and Amanda. We see you kind
Hmm.
of, exploring both of those avenues. Ultimately, both of them were in a position where they could have saved you and chose not to. Um, what were your feelings like about who you felt more burned by? Because obviously we see you have a very close relationship with Amanda. Did you have any, idea that maybe she could be playing you? And then obviously you have this alliance with the guys and Katherine. Like, what was the bigger betrayal of these two here?
Oh, for sure, Catherine. Like, for sure. I genuinely trusted her, which obviously was a mistake. But I never really trusted Amanda. Like, I knew that she was kind of on my enemy's team. And I'm like, okay, in the event that one of them has the power, I need one of them to like me just more than somebody else in the house so I can be saved. And so me and her, the show only shows us talking like as of late, but we were friends from like episode 2. We were kind of getting close. And I think we both kind of use flirting to like our advantage to get a leg up with one another. But we never trusted each other. And she shouldn't have trusted me because I said time and time again, like I would love to see her go home. She's a strong competitor. She's a smart girl. And if she went home, like great. But yeah, we never really trusted each other. And it was more of like a backdoor sort of thing. Like if I can have her save my ass, then great. And she would have been best case scenario because if she saves me, then I can save Brett, who can save Jack, who can save Mac, and we're all safe. And now Derek has to win again to send me home, and he's pretty much screwed. So I was like, if she picks me, great. If not, the person I really trusted to pick me was Catherine because I had saved her time and time again. The boys had looked out for her the entire time. And, I went and defended her during that whole argument, even though I didn't know that she was lying to everybody, had me looking crazy, had me looking stupid because I was misinformed. And it sucked to see, after everything, how much she lied, how much she, was manipulating us and all the things she said. So that was for sure the way bigger burn than Amanda.
Yeah, so tell me about this experience, kind of knowing Catherine in the game, being betrayed by her, and now watching it back for these last few episodes because I have to imagine a lot of you are shocked by what you're seeing on camera.
Yeah, it was so frustrating to watch. I mean, I get it. We're playing the game, but I said this in another interview. Like, to me, how you present yourself and the way you play the game is somewhat representative of who you are. Like, I don't know. I get it's a game, but like to me, I was my genuine self. I said I had your back and you were in my circle, I had your back. And I lied to the people who weren't necessarily on my side. You know, it's part of the game, but I wasn't out here just backstabbing, blatant lies. Like it wasn't like that. I was myself and I was playing a hard game. I was maneuvering, I was plotting, but I played an honorable game. And so yeah, it's tough to hear all the things she said and I try not to take it personally because it is just a game, but I definitely look at her differently because in the house she was like my little sister, and then you go back and see all the shit she was saying, and it's like, well, damn, I guess not. So it is what it is.
Mm.
I'm curious, like, did you really feel like you were the number one target of Derek's here? Did you feel like when it gets down to you and Brett, any hope at that point, or are you basically
See
just,
ya.
yeah, yeah,
See ya. I mean, I tried to plead with him and be like, yo, I know I screwed you over, but this dude's like 6'4" and like a beast, and like he's a bigger threat than me. But he knew that. I knew he was sending me home. Once Katherine didn't pick me, I was like, all right, I guess I'll catch y'all later. I just knew. What I don't know what Derek would have done is if it was me and Jack in the bottom. That didn't
right.
happen, but me and Jack were his number one targets. But obviously, Jack fortunately had Mac to pick him. He was safe. And yeah, once we were in the bottom three, I was like, oh, sayonara.
Yeah, because
I already knew.
it seemed like, after Amanda doesn't pick you, it almost seems like the conversation between you and Jack, it seems like he's preparing for him to go and for
Hmm.
you to be, to kind of carry out some sort of revenge there. So I was curious what you guys were expecting to happen there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I didn't know. I think Amanda wasn't even sure if she was going to pick me, honestly. I think she kind of decided on the spot. I'm not sure. But yeah, I knew I didn't I'm like, okay, I need either Amanda or Catherine to pick me. And like having two people who would maybe pick you, I thought was like enough because nobody in the house would have picked me. Obviously, Alyssa and Frankie are locked in. I don't rock with Jacob. I mean, not Jacob. I don't rock with Mayor John or Christine at all. They're not going to pick me. But I needed one of them two to pick me, and they didn't. But I don't know what other angle I would have played at that point. Like, I'm already at odds with Derek. Like, who else do I confide in to pick me? There's no one left. Like, those were the two people I needed to pick me, and they didn't. So, like, there's nothing more I could have done other than try to work that angle.
A couple episodes ago, you did pull the trigger on the betrayal of Derek and Pastor Jacob. Are you looking back
Hmm.
at that as maybe a misstep because you are the casualty of that move there? You go out on a limb to say
Yeah.
Brett, but it's not Brett who gets eliminated here. It's you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say yes and no. I say that we win the last challenge and we send Derek home. We're like, big dogs. The boys are in the crib, like we're running stuff. It just
Mm,
so happens that Derek gets the advantage in the challenge. He wins the challenge. I kind of got screwed. Like, I'm not making
mm,
excuses, but like it was like worst case scenario after worst case scenario. I'm like, all right, if Derek wins, I have this option. Maybe Amanda picks me, maybe Catherine picks me. I have kind of like a plan B, a plan C. Everything went to shit. And so the one thing I thought of was maybe I let Jack pick Brett because we spoke about that. Jack was like, "What if I just pick Brett?" And at first, I wasn't sure if I wasn't going to pick Derek. I was going to maybe pick him, pretend to be an alliance, and then sneakily get him out the house. But I didn't trust that I could safely ensure that Brett wouldn't go home. And I was like, I don't trust anybody else to save him. I gotta save my boy. And even if, so say Brett, excuse me, say Jack picks Brett, I'm probably still not going to pick Derek. I mean, I
mm,
could, but like either way, I'm picking somebody else, and Derek's like, screw you guys. So maybe that puts a target on me and Jack a little more evenly because Jack picked Brett and not me. But there was just no way in the world I was going to pick Derek in that moment. It just didn't make sense to me. And so, yeah, I kind of, drew the line in the sand. But I was so confident. Like, nobody else in the house would really want to see me go home in particular, other than Derek. And then
mm.
Derek wins the next challenge. So it's like, I guess F me, like, here we go. So that's kind of what happened. And it was unfortunate, but, it is what it is.
I'd like to know a little bit more on the relationship with Amanda because obviously she's weighing two different she acknowledges that she can take a path here and work with you and the guys and Mac as well, but she's has worked with Derek, and this is a big decision here. If she had saved you, um are you still kind of keeping her at arm's length, just as an option, or does she like rise in the ranks of someone that you really want to protect and work with by showing that like commitment to you?
If he picks me, I obviously feel like, I can trust her more. But like my allegiance is always with Brett and Jack. At the same time, I recognize that Jack and Mac are getting really close. And at one point, Jack says to me, "Yo, I don't know if I could pick you and Brett over Mac if it came down to it, because I like her, like, outside of I think outside of the game, we'd have a real connection and it would break her heart." And I'm like, damn, like I can't have that. So I mean, I felt like I had to find other people who I would be their number one. I thought that was sort of Catherine. Brett knew was my guy, but I knew also that Brett in the house kind of had a target on his back. Number one, because he's a strong competitor, and number two, he kind of just would rock the boat a little bit. They don't show it as much. They kind of show me causing Kit mayhem, but Brett did rock the boat a lot. He would say things to people. He'd be like, "Yo, I don't like you," and I'd be like, Why did you say that?" And so I was like, I need someone. And I also knew Amanda was smart, so I'm like. I would love to have her as an ally, but I know she's smart, so I can't fully trust her. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It was kind of people in the house were calling us Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like the movie, like we fuck with each other, but we're always trying to kill each other. Like I would have loved to see Amanda go home because she's such a smart and strong competitor.
Yeah, I
But if
give
she picked me, yeah, I'm obviously gonna view her as someone I could trust, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to grapple with how do you plan on beating the bros in the end? Let's say it's you and Brett and Jack and McLean and Catherine. Where's your maneuvering here if you let somebody like Amanda go? Because I mean, through this episode, I thought, okay, they kissing. Maybe we got some strong feelings here. She's not going to turn on him.
hmm
She does.
hmm
So once that
hmm
happens, like, did you have a path to what maybe the end looks like for you?
I figured I would, cross that bridge when I got there. Sort of thing. Like it was kind of one step at a time. The way I imagined it, what would probably happen is like say like the final four is like me, Brett, Mac, Jack, or like Catherine's in there. Me and Brett got to team up, and like Mac and Jack are so locked in that it is what it is. But there's so much love between us that at that point in the game, it's like I don't even care if I go home. Like it's someone who I really genuinely love and respect is gonna take this thing home, and so I would have been fine with that. We really we talked about that outcome, and if that would have happened, I'd have been cool with it. So that if that were the case, there would have been no hard feelings. I played a hard game and went to the end with people who I've been rocking with since day one. Can't be too upset about that.
Hmm.
Devonte, there's lots of talk in the show about, you're obviously labeled by your careers here, right? You come in as the poker player, and
Yeah.
in reality TV, being the poker player can sometimes like really put a target on your back. And I'm curious, like how you felt like that impacted you in the game, if it did at all, and was that kind of something that you had to work against, because know that you're a gamer. You obviously are a professional gamer, right?
hmm
How did that impact your game?
I didn't really think about that too much. I knew that my social skills were strong enough to outweigh my title as a poker player. And I felt like I am just so good at getting to know people, and I could share things about myself that would, kind of put the label of a poker player as like a secondary about me. I'm not just a poker player. A very caring, charismatic guy who cares about people and can get to know you well. And we talk about our family lives, and I can resonate with a lot of people on different things. And I felt like my social skills would just be strong enough to outweigh that title. And I think that it did. People might have made a couple comments like he's a poker player. I don't trust him. But in the house, generally, everybody, I was cool with everybody, besides obviously Derek, like, to the extent that we were going to war, but like even me and Derek were cool. Like I got along with everybody. So I don't think that it put enough of a target on my back to affect my game. I think what did affect my game was the fact that the boys were so strong.
Mhm.
Really, if we wanted you to go home, you were kind of going home. We probably had you and your click in the bottom too, if we wanted it to be that way. And it was kind of like that from weeks 1 through 4. And we knew they were coming for us. And it sucks that I was the first one to go home. But that's what happens when you play the game really hard, you know?
I was very impressed with your social skills throughout. You were cool with everybody except obviously Derek for strategic purposes or whatever, but not so
Hmm.
much Pastor Jacob. Now, watching it back, do you feel like you should be as threatened by Pastor Jacob throughout this season? Because we were at home thinking this guy is not playing a good game. They're wasting so much energy
Hmm.
on him. What'd you think about him
I,
now that you've
I,
been able to
I,
watch the game
I
back?
didn't really, yeah, I didn't play him no mind. But Jack and Brett did not like him. Brett did not like Jacob. I didn't really pay him no mind. And
Mhm.
honestly, you see that when he confides in me and Jack and believes that we can have an alliance.
Yeah.
So me and him really didn't have no smoke. Me and Jacob would actually talk. We bonded over the fact that we're both Ivy League guys. I went to Brown, he went to Harvard. He dabbles in poker. He lives in California. Like we were cool. He just knew the boys were a big threat, but his biggest threat was Jack. I mean, not Jack, was Brett. And
Hmm.
you see that when
Yeah.
he has the idea that he's gonna have us flip on Brett and send Brett home. So really, Pastor Jacob was never on my radar. But rip from week 2, I said and they don't show this, which is annoying. I'm like, Derek's a good guy, and Derek got to go home. Derek's
Hmm.
a physical threat. He's super smart. I see him in the house. He's like him and Amanda were just like me. Like if the three of us were a team, we probably would have went to work too because they were both
Hmm.
really smart and they were both big threats in the game. But we happened to be on the other side of the coin. And from the jump, I was like, I would love to see either Derek or Amanda go home. And they don't show that, but I really would have loved to see one of them go home because they were such good competitors. I don't want them in the house.
Hmm.
So, Devonte, obviously this was a social strategy game. Is this something that you're really familiar with, and something that you would want to try your hand at again in the future?
Oh, I want to do it again so badly. I mean,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
like hopefully like a Big Brother type show where like you're doing
Ooh.
like mostly puzzles and like things like that and not having cockroaches on. I'm not doing no Fear Factor type stuff ever
I
again.
don't blame you. More
Like,
opportunities to save yourself too.
Hmm.
right, right, exactly. I think I would kill Big Brother and Traders, a game like that. Like, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
And I'll probably win more challenges because if you know me personally, like that stuff was so far outside of my comfort zone. My homies back home are like, bro, how did you, like, we know you, like, how did you do that? I'm like, I had to go to a place of like do or die. Like, I'm
Yeah.
overseas at war right now because I hate bugs, hate heights, and don't like snakes. All that stuff had me fucked up. Like, I did not like it one bit. Sorry to swear, but I hated it. But I was
You're
fighting
good
for my
here.
life. I wanted to win. So that's what I was doing. I was just fighting for my life.
Yeah, no, we would love to see you play another game. You played so
Yeah.
aggressive. It was so much fun watching you. You weren't afraid of a
Thank you.
showmance. Yeah, so
Hmm.
my type of reality TV contestant for sure. Tell
Yeah.
everybody
Hell
where they
yeah.
can follow you on social media, where they can keep up with what you have going on.
Yeah, yeah. All my socials are Devonte Cav. So my first name, Devonte Cav. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. I'll be posting content about the show, and once the episode is out and everyone sees it, I'll talk about, what my take on it. And I post some funny videos. Me and my buddies do acting skits in LA. So I'll be posting a bunch and you'll see me playing some poker and having some fun, man.
All right, sounds
It's
good.
awesome.
Thank you for your time, man.
Yeah. Thanks,
Appreciate you guys.
Devonte.
Have a good one.
All right. That was Devonte, y'all, the most recently eliminated contestant from The Snake. To keep up with our coverage and more here on We Know Reality TV, please subscribe to the We Know Reality TV podcast feed on WeKnowRealityTV.com. Peace.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.